I wanted to give an update on Lemonade Car. I've spoken to a few people that have the product, and then also some sources higher up at Lemonade that have given me their thoughts on how some of the product is structured. So I want to give you that update on here because it is really important. I see Lemonade Car is a really pivotal point to either the success or failure of Lemonade. We've talked about this before, that it's really probably a binary outcome company. They either could have huge success, runaway massive success, or go bankrupt or even be acquired for pennies. So it's kind of one of those two scenarios. And a major point is whether hinging point is whether Lemonade Car can become successful and drive a profitability scenario that really pushes more and more growth. So really important to dig into the details here. If you're new here, you're wondering, why do I have a bag on my head, the paper bag investor? I will put a link for an introductory video up above there, so feel free to check that out. And if you haven't subscribed and you get value out of this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up while you're at it. It really does help the YouTube algorithm and gets more people to see these videos. Okay, so I spoke with a few people that have the product Lemonade Car so far. It's only in Illinois so far, but so few people there, just over Twitter. And what we've learned so far is this. It starts off with a 6-month time frame, which is kind of your standard price. So people sign up and you get sort of a 6-month locked in price, standard sort of price, whatever they quote you. Then the price will be adjusted based on the amount you drive and how you drive. So six months of data, log that amount of data and see how much you typically driving, per month, and how safe or risky of a driver you are. And then they're going to factor in somehow a new insurance rate for you. It's not clear how frequently the price will be adjusted after that. That's definitely a question I have. Is that every 6 months there's an adjustment, or will it happen maybe every monthly after that 6-month period? Still to be determined. But in terms of the amount of that people are paying for the rates or what they're being quoted, some people I've talked to have had similar rates. Some have significantly cheaper rates, even about half the cost of legacy. I know that having an electric vehicle makes the price cheaper. So that is one factor, especially one person I talked to who has a Tesla, drives on full self-driving beta most of the time in that product, in that program. So they're driving pretty conservatively most of the time. And then also they have home insurance, so they're bundling home and auto insurance. And they said they're about half the cost of what Geico, I think they said, or other legacy insurer would have quoted them. So that's really interesting. They said they're going to stick with that specific person, so they're going to stick with Lemonade at least for the 6 months and see then how it's adjusted. And they're hoping, since they're driving mostly on full self-driving beta, their insurance rate will be pretty inexpensive, is what they're hoping. And they said they might actually switch to Tesla insurance when Tesla insurance comes. So that's one little anecdote. But people I talked to said the experience with the app is very seamless. It's just, you basically just sign up and forget about it. Very, very simple, easy to use. And I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone who's had an insurance claim yet. So I don't know if there's anybody out there who's had Lemonade insurance and has had a claim. Be interesting to talk to them and kind of hear that story, though. So if you're out there or you know someone, please send them my way so I can hear their story from them. Okay, a major question I have, though, is why 6 months? Why wait 6 months to give feedback to the user? Why for Lemonade to wait 6 months? I did a video, which I'll link up above here, months ago when they were developing Lemonade Car, and I said that for Lemonade Car to be a huge success, it's got to have 3 things. It's got to be seamless, which so far we can tell it seems to be very, very seamless, which was to be expected. Has to be accurate, so we can assume it's going to be accurate. Don't really know. That's still sort of to be determined, but accuracy in their pricing of the individual's risk has to be accurate. And then finally, I said it also has to give good feedback to the user, because if you can give a precise and timely feedback to you as a driver about what makes you less safe and raises your insurance premiums, that feedback can quickly improve the driving habits of customers and make them safe drivers. This is a really, really important feedback loop. And in my opinion, it has to be pretty timely and specific to your actual driving habits. It tells you, like, maybe an example is that maybe you literally can look in the Lemonade app at your driving safety score or whatever it's going to be, and it can show you that, in the mornings when you're driving to work, at this such and such a time, all these drives, you brake and accelerate too hard, more than other times, other drives of the day. And maybe you see that, you realize as you see this data, and that's actually affecting, your safety score and your insurance premium. It's showing you how that's your sort of effects that's making. It shows you that, actually, if I left 5-10 minutes sooner to get to work, I wouldn't be in such a hurry. I could drive a little bit safer and be actually less risk of an accident and save money on my insurance premium. So that it's like a really specific correction you can make to your own driving to become a safer driver. And so in my mind, being really specific like that and being really timely, that's going to make a better product and better for our Lemonade, better for the end customer, better for society as a whole, as you could have safer drivers that people actually clearly incentivize to become safer drivers. And this was actually, Tesla is basically doing this, what I'm discussing here, and this was shown or talked about in Tesla's Q4 earnings call. So I'll quote this here, Zach, I'll put it on the screen, but he said, "We've been in this market now for about 3 months, and what we see in the data is the frequency of collision by folks who are given a feedback loop on how they are driving is quite a bit lower than the frequency of collision otherwise." Pretty powerful. If you are given a feedback loop of how you are driving, your chance of having a collision is lower than otherwise. Makes sense. And then Elon kind of expands on that. He says, yeah, we get direct feedback on whether driving is safe. And if they drive safe, their insurance cost is less, so they drive safer. It encourages Tesla insurance with informatics, and real-time feedback encourages safer driving and rewards it monetarily. It's great. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. But on the other side, Lemonade is choosing to wait 6 months until they give feedback. So for me, that seems like too long of a time. If you could have some data already, why not give it in a more timely way? But I was thinking about this, and then I had some discussions about this with some higher up sources I have at Lemonade, and I got this explanation. So this gives us some clue into how Lemonade is thinking about this product and this side of the product right now. They said, and I quote here, he said, "We thought we would start with predictability and low engagement, calculating the new prices on renewal." That's that 6-month timeline, because that's where most of the market is today. Doesn't mean we can't or won't offer the other option. It's just where we choose to start. Other option being more timely, more real-time feedback. And then he said, somebody else said, a lot of what we do revolves around the subtleties of relationship with the customer. Just like any other relationship, we don't want to be too judgmental because it just creates resentment and doesn't really help change things. No one likes to hear that they're bad drivers. I believe that to influence people's behavior in a sustainable way, without losing the customer in the process, you need to strike the right balance between positive and negative feedback, and to do that with light nudges. We do a lot of testing around that, and hopefully we'll find the perfect balance. So Lemonade, for now, they're definitely taking a more hands-off approach, which could be argued is more likely to keep customers happy by having less intrusion and being less judgmental of someone's driving. It's an interesting way of thinking about it. I also heard this, which I thought was really brilliant. Another quote here. Someone said, But even before we influence how people drive, we get to choose the best risk to stay on the book after a few months of actual driving. That's really powerful. So if you think about it, even if someone is a really, really reckless driver and the data shows a really bad driver you should not have on your policy, then Policy Lemonade has had the option to cancel that policy with the individual without even trying to change their own driving behavior. So it's good they still have that option for the most dangerous of the people they can identify. And I still think, my opinion, it would be better if they gave more real-time feedback, but maybe they're taking the right strategy of being more hands-off. They also might simply be testing their underwriting and just want more certainty on what makes a safer or more dangerous driver. And then as they become more certain about their sort of risk profiling, maybe they can give more specific nudges. Yeah, you should change this, this, or you should change this to become a safer driver, and it will improve your policy. Or, you know what, this person's such a bad driver, we're going to axe them or get rid of them as a customer. So they might just be taking a more conservative route and really testing their algorithms, safety scoring, before they become more aggressive or more assertive in giving that feedback to the customers. Let me know what you think of Lemonade Car so far, at least what you've heard of it, or if you know anything about it. Let us know in the comments down below. Anything I said that inspires some thoughts, I'd love to hear it down below. I read all your comments. Or if there's something that I missed and you know about Lemonade Car, please let us know down below, and I can make another video about it, or we can all read about it and share as investors. And if you know anybody who has Lemonade Car, make sure you get them to send me an email or message me on Twitter, and I can connect with them. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's in the bag.